Hi, this is just a brief warning. I've made a decision about my neighbor's bees, and the thing that I decided is probably not the thing that you suggested. So if you made suggestions over the last couple videos of what I should do to the bees, and this is not what I did to the bees, I apologize. I still want to be friends, and I definitely appreciate your opinion. Thank you for your feedback, and please enjoy the video. All right, so great news. Joe, the guy that I got my bees from, came down, had a look at the bees. We opened up the hives. What he said was, you need some drawn out medium supers. Come on up to my place. I got a stack of them taller than me. So we are gonna have some drawn out supers that these bees can just pack with syrup for the next month. So this is great news. Okay, here we go. We got 20 new frames of beautiful pulled comb. Some has pollen. Welcome back. I think a decision has been made with these two hives. Before I get started, yes, this is a 590-pound pumpkin. Right here. 590 pounds. Just so you know. Anyway, it's not mine. I think a decision has been made. I am not going to do a nuke. I'm not going to combine. I don't want to call him my mentor, but a guy who I think might become a mentor is actually the guy who supplied the bees to us this year. His name is Joe, really cool guy, 20-year beekeeper. He has been beekeeping in this climate about 5 miles away from me for 20 years. So he knows this area, he knows this winter, he knows these bees, and he came over today. We had a look in the hives, and well, he basically said what we all know, which is they need more frames. They need to start socking away food because the bees are okay and they look pretty healthy, but they don't have any place to put food. So this is 10 frames, and I have another box of 10 frames. I got 20 new frames of pulled comb, which he gave to me, which is freaking cool. So here's the new plan. I'm going to put 10 new frames on top of the little hive. They're definitely doing fine pulling down syrup and storing it. So I'm going to give them 10 new frames to pack over the next couple of weeks. He said the queen is it's a 2014 queen, but she looks great. That's what he said. She's a great queen. She's got a big thorax. She's really got a good pattern. He said everything looks just fine with her. So the plan is to give them 10 more frames and fill those up, and then hopefully have 20 medium frames and that little population of bees to get themselves through the winter. We're going to wrap up the hives, we're going to insulate, we're going to ventilate, and we're going to see if we can just get them through the winter. Big hive, same deal. They have 10 decent frames and they have 10 spotty frames, and we're going to give them 10 brand new frames today so they can fill those up with syrup. So they will have 20 frames and they will have 20 frames. So that is the plan. Now, regarding the varroa, some people are not going to be happy. I'm not completely happy. This is not what I would have done. But we were left with no real other option. I wanted to treat the bees. However, looking forward for the next 7 to 10 days, we're not going to have a lot of really warm enough days to use formic acid. And Joe, the beekeeper, is not an oxalic acid vaporizer guy. He doesn't do oxalic, he doesn't have a vaporizer. I don't want to order one, wait for it, get it, like do the whole 3-week-long process of the oxalic on these bees because we just don't have the time. It's going to be, in 3 weeks we're going to be in winter here. So it's just not going to happen. So he brought over Apivar strips. It's Amitraz. It is a pesticide, it is a miticide. It is something that I probably wouldn't have chosen to use. But at this late in the season, with these bees, the oxalic was not an option because we don't have the equipment. The Mite Away quick strips isn't an option because it's not going to be warm enough for the next 7 to 10 days to do the treatment, because the temperatures have to get up into the 70s and preferably 80 degrees for that really to work. And this is what we were left with. So he used the Amitraz Apivar strips. He put them in the hive. I'm going to leave them in there. I'm supposed to leave them in for 40 days, but in 40 days it's going to be winter anyway, so we're just going to leave them in. If they make it through the winter, I'm going to take them onto my bee yard and I'm going to start treating them how I would treat them. They're starting their life in an unfortunate situation. They didn't get fed enough this year. They had disease. Joe came down. He suggested this treatment. It's what he uses. He put it in there. He said they're going to be fine. He gave me 20 new frames of comb. He said, feed the hell out of them, insulate the hives, ventilate the hives, and he thinks they're going to be fine. I didn't want to make a big thing about it. It's what we did. Today I'm going to add these new frames above them. I'm going to keep feeding them like crazy. Hopefully in the spring I have 3 hives that I can start doing what I want with. It is what it is. Let's get these frames on the hive so that they can start socking away some syrup. All right, so we have 10 frames here that we can use. I'm taking out all the empty frames, totally empty. Pulled comb. This was the frame that we just pulled out this morning. We pulled off this burr comb this morning and I rubber banded it in. It's kind of funny how my YouTube channel kind of started when I dropped that big comb and I didn't know what to do with it. Now I know what to do with the comb when I drop the comb. Alright, I'm going to replace this. There's plenty of comb on there. There's a little honey in there, but that is a fully drawn comb frame there. That's fully drawn. A little bit of honey there, but there you go. Yeah, I'm getting rid of this. White-faced hornet. Get out of there. They got 10 good frames here. I'm going to look at the bottom and make sure they have 10 good ones down there. Yeah, see, this one's empty. Brand new one going in with pulled comb. It's just a rotten looking frame. That's all pulled out. These are all pulled. New frame of pulled comb going in. Yeah, this has got honey on it. I'm going to put in just a new one. All right. All right, this hive has 20 pulled frames of comb. All right, let's do the other hive. All right, so what we did when Joe was here was we took the this box here was on the bottom, but it's completely empty. There's nothing in here. This box had the brood with the queen in it, with a decent brood pattern and a lot of stores. All these frames are just empty. So these are coming out. These are the Apivar strips. I'm taking out the empty frames from the bottom, so we still have empty frames here. There's a little brood on here. I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to replace with this frame, which even has pollen in it. And I'm going to put an outside frame out here. Again, empty frames here on the outside. But I'm going to give them a new empty frame here that they can fill. So now we have pulled comb on every frame down here. We did see the queen this morning. She's in there. All right, on with the top box. And we're going to put all new frames in here for them to fill. Just really nicely drawn comb. One more. Oh, I can take one of these. This is from the other colony, but it's all drawn out and there's some honey in there. So that's going here. All right, so we got 10 drawn frames right here. Just got a spacer instead of that other super. Perfect. All right, so there it is. The decision has been made. We're not doing anything complicated. We are going to try and keep both hives alive. We have a lot of bees, we have a lot of brood, we have emerging bees. We've treated for varroa, and I'm going to feed nonstop for the next 3-4 weeks. They have 20 new frames of pulled comb to fill. Hive number right has 13 new empty frames to fill, and they filled 4 frames in the last week. So if they keep doing that and there is emerging brood, they should fill all that up in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm just going to feed nonstop 2-to-1 syrup and just let them feed. Hive number left got 11 new, or 9, I think 9. They have 9 new pulled comb frames for that hive. And they're also doing a great job storing food. They have a queen that is laying, there's a brood pattern in there. Joe seemed to think things were just fine. So definitely 2 weaker hives, but he thinks they can make it through the winter. With proper feeding, proper insulation, and ventilation, he suggested giving it a shot. He knows more than I do. And there's probably a lot of people watching that know more than he does. But he knows these bees in this neighborhood, basically. I trust him. He's got 15 hives, 20 years of beekeeping. He's in the honey business. He knows how to keep them alive. So he looked at it and he said, go for it. So that's what we're going to do. Pretty good day. Great day. It was an awesome day. Today was an awesome day. Thanks for watching. How about that pumpkin, though?